Good day, everyone, and welcome to our continued adventure through Battle of Five Armies and uh, continued battles through Battles of Five Armies. After the various introductory level of videos and some legwork that we did, I decided maybe we try to go into some of the more epic stuff. Uh, So I decided to show you one of the, not necessarily the most epic, but one of the most epic games I had in Battle of Five Armies. And I'm excited to, talk with you about it. So, the, a slight context maybe to know what is at the stake. When I joined the Battle of Five Armies community, uh, a lot of people were talking how the shadow is heavily underpowered, and lots of estimations, but not by everyone, but a lot of estimations were that free people are favored about 7-3 compared to shadow, and simply I disagreed and tried to prove that through my gameplay. So I was trying to challenge many people and play with them, and I was doing quite well actually. I think I won almost every game in my memory right now. I remember that I won all of my games, but that's how memory works. I would like to win all of my games, but my win rate was very high. Definitely win rate with Shadow was higher than 30%, and it was probably above 70-80%. I don't remember exactly right now. And one of the challenger approached to test my theories and skill, and it was none other than Galahad himself. I guess most of us know Galahad. He's uh, isn't he the best War of the Ring player? Maybe not to downplay other top players. Let's say that he is one of the best. Uh, and he is also really good in basically any game he takes into his hands. He's really good in Battle of Five Armies when I played him. He is really good in the card game and in many other games. So he is maybe the most formidable opponent to pick on. So if I win this shadow game against him, it would be like a coronation to all my effort, let's say. So yeah, and this game uh, didn't disappoint. That's what I say. Funnily enough, we played a game before. This is my second game versus him, and I actually played very poorly, and Galahad steamrolled over me like in 2-3 rounds or something. Turns, sorry. But I was dissatisfied in my play, and I decided, you know what, this is not the test I wanted. I want to play second time, so we played second time. I played Shadow, and yeah, we're arriving here. So he starts as free people because that was in a way my goal. He starts with the classic free general activation and free leadership. The, let's say, standard obligatory, I'd say more or less obligatory Dwarven Veteran leadership token, one somewhere in Dale, and one he decided to put into Eastern Bank. Probably from his experience, Shadow attacks the Eastern Bank very often, so he wanted to have double leadership the round one. I have Troop Leader and Battle Fury, which are okay effects, not too sexy. Battle Fury is decent at attacking the strongholds, the fortifications, but usually I prefer to use bats anyway. Uh, And Black Tide is decent if you have a free Palantir or free Sedai actually, and you have spread leaderships. It can allow you to move many armies. So situational, but those situations you can create yourself. Spreading the leadership. So I draw Fate. We start with 1C. Yeah, nothing too crazy. Eagles are not kindly birds, which is one of the most game flipping cards when the Eagles join. So I hope to be able to achieve something before. And free leadership on my part. Yeah, we roll the dice. 2 eyes and 3 armies. I mean, 1 army, 3 hybrids. Decent start. I like to have at least 1 C at the beginning, to maybe jump somewhere, but basically it seems to be a very slow turn for me. I will be probably doing a lot of recruitment. And he rolls actually, what a massive roll. 1C specifically for the Dwarf Veteran movement, and then basically he can do whatever he wants, right? He can recruit 4 times, maybe some Palantir to draw some cards, maybe trigger some cards. So yeah, and pretty decent when I had a slow start, so he can buckle up and fortify himself. So he starts with using Bard to put a token, which is reasonable. He probably realizes that I cannot attack very fast, so he has some time to put tokens and flip them. He doesn't need Bard fast flipping, and Warren Veteran joins where he's placed, right? Okay, we talk a lot. We might be talking a lot here because we are talkative people. But let's see, I'm using recruitment to flip. Yeah, some early recruitments are usually decent to do. And he obviously is recruiting by himself because why not? This is good. So yeah, I realized, I'm not going to out-tempo him in any way. So I'm just putting out goblins, waiting for him. What will he do? He obviously passes. I'm putting second goblins. He cannot pass. So what he does, he actually uses Palantir to draw cards. It is really cool if you have time and ability to draw 2 cards in first turn, because it sets you for the future, for the the fuel of various cards, variability, options. Yeah, what do I do here? I flip more tokens because I want to have 1 army, probably the very front army, to be able to start moving, and also be followed by the second army at the back. If I guess Ranging Trumpets. Okay, this is really cool card. Yeah, you can put tokens in 3 different settlements, so he is able to buff up his Eastern Spur back up to 5 dice, which is massive. He's able to help with his front and Vulnerable Dale, and I think he just flips a token just for a little bit of tempo. Yeah, really awesome for him. And I move armies into position to start putting some pressure, and now he uses a second card, really cool. He was able to use all 3 generals first round to put out tokens. He got a card to put out more tokens, so massive recruitment. So I will not be able to outpace him early, and sometimes you are able to, as Shadow, to catch 3 people around turn 1, maybe even turn 2, when they're all spread and not ready for you. 3 people are ready here. Okay. So I decide to just jump and attack. It gives me a card, so it is cool. It makes use of my bats that I put there, so it's cool. I got Move to Strike, very cool card. Obviously vampire-like. I just want to, if I roll 1 hit, it will be inconvenient for him to run away. And yeah, no one got a hit. But at least I have an army there too, so I'm able to recruit bulk. We go into the next round, so the usual 3 generals activation into 1. I put out, let's see, two bats in the eastern bank. Maybe I'll try to like attack a little bit of the eastern spur, maybe weaken it a little bit. And obviously leadership into 3 armies. I'm already putting an army here because my thinking is most probably if I will get bulk, I'll put him here, and that army with bulk, great orc and 1 token flip is sure to be able to move out. Okay. Oh, that is so. Yeah, this can balance out. He got like perfect round one, turn one roll, but now all the sea dice. So he has stuff to do with his sea dice. He can recruit Bilbo. He can move around and regroup a little bit, but few of the master dice would be extremely useful to flip some more of the tokens. So yeah, let's see what will he do, how he will manage with this difficult position. He uses Bard, which makes sense, to flip Ruins of Dale, so his army is ready here. It is a very reasonable choice, and he just moves them so he doesn't have the split armies that are fairly easy to pick on. He has one formidable army that can challenge my army here. I would be able to try to move around, maybe attack a little bit and go into Dale to try to get the 3 bodyguards bulk, but from my experience, you know what? He, especially with his sea dice, I would expend like 1-2 dice to even get here. Then he can just attack me he has armies, he has archery attacks. Most probably he would beat me out of there and not allow me to get bulk. So why waste the dice if I can just get the bulk, which I will get 1 bodyguard bulk probably anyway, and just simply start moving and maybe threatening something else. So yeah, the bulk stuff, great orc, token flipping, all of that. So I have armies that can start moving and are ready to go. He passes, which is probably correct. He needs to see when I will attack, so he will know with his quite limited options how to react. I don't know if there are like immediate good options for him to go, And now I'm using that event, which is very useful at this point. It allows me to do everything I want to do. So move my back armies up front, so they will start doing something, and also move that army in front here. As shadow, it usually shadow armies, how to say it, in similar strength are weaker than free people armies, in a sense that his army has dwarven veteran, his army has 4 archers, so he has dwarven veterans with double combat strength, so he will later start losing dices. Also, both of his maneuver cards are very devastating maneuvers that deal additional damage or even take away my leadership. So my works with an orc are I mean, obviously, depending on the dice, I can win this or I can be smashed, but on average, I think I lose this. So why take disadvantages fight? I may force him to do some inconvenient stuff, right? And I move, so I threaten 2 areas. I threaten the eastern spur that is being surrounded by my massive 2 armies, and this one. Eastern spur is strong, but I have 2 armies here, and here I have 1 not very challenging army, but he's very weak in this spot. So how does he respond? He has 2 threats to deal with. He responds with putting down token. Yeah, why not? And he recruits Bilbo. This is very difficult for me then, because Eastern Spur is the toughest point on the map right now. Not fun times. So I decided, you know what? It is time to strike. So I move to strike. Here are elves. There are only 2 of them. if I deal just 2 damage, if he needs to retreat, he starts losing soldiers. If I deal 3 damage, he starts losing soldiers no matter what. If I take the token, again, he loses recruits. So this is for me easy way to reduce 3 people's strength with minimal cost myself. Most of the time. Maybe I'll get wrecked here. He gets terrain, unfortunately, but okay. And I use orcs because I expect that probably, first of all, wargs right here, not that crucial to potentially kill one elf, especially if you want to retreat anyway. But orc, if it will hit, it is really good to have that extra leadership, especially that I have card with Captain of War. So probably I'll be fighting more. Okay, I got my maneuver, I got 2 damage, which is cool, and he missed 2 hits, so this is a quite big win for me. Not, let's say, extremely lucky, it is just very convenient. So I killed 2 soldiers for free, and my army actually grew in power. And I'm in his weak spot. Very inconvenient for him. I can attack this guy more, I can maybe threaten Fallen Bridge with the 2 tokens, maybe I haven't even threatened Ravenhill, right? What he will do, he decides to strike himself, probably, right? Yes. So he moves on and attacks my army. Yep. And we fight. This is I got 2 leadership, which is important because if he takes 1 of my leadership, I still have a reroll, which is a big deal. And this is really good for me that I didn't get damaged by that Wood of Archers. So I try with Warg. This is a bit maybe a bit of a long shot, because if I kill 1 soldier here, it is not that big of a deal because there's those pesky Dwarven veterans. But I would basically need to luck out 4 damage to kill 1. Maybe I needed to wait 1 round with them, against Lakeman. So he gets 2 damage, but 2 hits, but 1 is maneuver, so he starts with strong 3 damage on me, and I get 3 damage, 1 more thanks to the leadership reroll, so it is 3 for 3. Pretty decent start. And I roll maneuver, so he loses 1 soldier, which isn't that important in here, sadly. 1 more damage and it would be actually devastating, but I can't really count on that, right? So we have Lakeman versus Wargs. He presses. If I can retreat here and still have that irritating army of 4 soldiers, but I decided, you know what, I already dealt him some damage, maybe I'll be just able to trade them off, and then the whole middle area of the map will be weak, which will be very convenient for me. Okay, I try with orcs. I want to stack my leadership, especially that I expect him to have to play the dwarven and maybe take away my leadership. And okay, he dealt 3 damage, so he starts killing my soldiers. I fortunately got my maneuver too. Oh wow, and 4 damage back at him. Okay, very deadly round. So his army is rolling 4 dice and he has only 3 health and has 1 leadership. My army is rolling 4 dice, but I have 2 leadership and 1, so I have 1 more leadership, 1 more health, and suddenly I'm starting getting advantage. But he presses. He not surprising again, because if this army will not kill this army, again I can use, for example, Master Die to rally, maybe get lots of tokens, as thanks also to those leadership tokens, and 4 soldiers is not full, but I will be able to ravage the backline, maybe Wood of Archer, maybe even try Ravenhill, this is fortification, but with 1 soldier, why not? Or, threaten the tokens on the Fallen Bridge. which is irritating. So he wants to weaken me as much as possible, even if it costs his life of his soldiers. I had choice to regroup or play one of the cards, and if I played Captain of War, I would be in very good position to win this fight, because I would have 2 more extra health. He would need basically to deal me 3 damage before I start losing soldiers, and every damage on him loses soldiers for him. But I decided to leave the encirclement, because I have a way to attack Istenspor this turn too. If I use a C die to move bulk here, then I use master die with Bats token to move here, I can play encirclement with my hybrid die to move this army here and double attack Istenspor. So this is my surprise plan when this army makes diversion. And maybe, hopefully if I win here, maybe he will start pumping, maybe moving Bilbo here, maybe desperately trying to defend it, and I will take that fortificated, tough Istenspor and will not need to care about it in the future. Okay, so I decided to play Battle Fury, to just get as many hits as possible, to just kill as many soldiers, but funnily enough, he's playing Fierce Defense. So, yeah. He's hitting me, he dealt me 2 damage, and I'm hitting him, and I dealt 1 damage. Ooh, I'm sad, but yeah. So our armies, in a way, right? 3 dice with leadership. I have 2 dice with leadership. So in a sense, we're rolling both 4 dice. We have both 2 damage. So this is basically the battle to the bitter end, most probably. Maybe someone will left standing, maybe not. So I just use the regroup. He plays another card, Battle Fury. Yeah, so he wants to finish me off. Ooh, and he rolled 3 freeze, all misses, and I got 1 hit. So yeah, he is starting dwindling. Just 1 hit, and his entire army is being finished off. But that's the power of the Dwarven veterans. They're doing a lot of heavy lifting. The extra die that he provides was useful for multiple rounds, so this is big deal. And I just use orcs. It doesn't really matter that much here, but yeah. He presses just to finish me off, and he finishes. He rolls to 5, but fortunately I got the hit, so dual annihilation, right? Fun times. So this army managed to actually achieve a lot. It recruited me Bolg. It forced some responses from him, so some dice that he probably would be able to spend some elsewhere. And he managed to kill entire army with Dwarven veteran, and 1 elf here and 1 recruitment token here. And he will still probably spend a die to retake lower slopes sometime. So lots of valuable trades. I'm happy for their death, however that sounds. So I proceed with my plan. Yeah, they did their job here. If I will take Istenspor, however many soldiers I will lose, I still have some armies here to gather up, and then I will have weak middle that cannot support anything. I can take Istenspor. From that I can maybe take Dale and attack anywhere I want. Will elves gather up their strength? Maybe I will drag out camp and take a front gate. Maybe camp will stay strong defending, so I will be ravaging elves. Who knows? But if I will take the Istenspor, it opens my way on the map that is fairly open already. So how does he respond? He actually moves up with his Dane army. So this is very tricky and also very cool positioning. I hoped he maybe will be running with his elves trying to gather for future rounds, but no. By simply moving his soldiers here, he puts pressure on me, which is very inconvenient. If I will just attack Istenspor, and will take too much damage, he is able to finish my army with Dain and maybe win the game by killing Bulk, right? So it is quite inconvenient. And very fun in this game how simple reposition of your soldiers can put pressure on your opponent. But I decided, you know what, I will proceed with my plan because I can attack with my last die and simply see what happens. Now I use a bat to move with a master die. I can still attack this army. Maybe I can attack this army. You know, if he stays here, I will use this damaged army to move and attack. Maybe put out some damage. I don't even need to press. And then next round he will be quite in a quite difficult position because what, he will just use a move to run away. I can follow him, maybe attack him before he will replenish. There are lots of ways. This is like a little bit of dance, actually like more of a chess match here. Who gathers position and thinks that is more advantage. If you'll be in a less advantageous position, you can lose. Oh, I take it back. I wonder, maybe, there's a second plan when I'm thinking of. I can use my hybrid die to attack this army, or even the Eastern Spur, weaken it, take some damage, but don't press too hard, and then use master die to rally both armies. This can be also a valid play. This would be like a slow play, just to trade a little bit. But I decided in the end, that I move in. I want some action, I want some aggression. Not sure if it's correct, but we will see. I have goblins that will soon move out, hopefully. So even if my armies will get a little bit depleted here, goblins can go out and help and replenish my armies. And this is funny, he runs back, so he used 2 dice to like put pressure on me, but in the end I didn't change my plans. But so I'm not sure what to think about it, but it still was interesting, back and forth. So now I will proceed with my plan and try to take Eastern Spur before it will get to 5th soldier, maybe before this army will get full power and start moving out. So even if I will get very heavily damaged, maybe I will manage, to regroup at least a bit. Because this fight definitely will be costly. I will take a lot of damage, a lot of soldiers will die, but 2 armies versus 1, even with the fortification in Bilbo, I think, especially that I have still bats token here, I think I should be taking it. So I'm trying to I think my bulk army is attacking first to deny him the draw of the generic event card, especially that he expanded everything here. I don't want to give him options, like even the fog would be nasty. I expended so much time to set up, and then he can break fight anytime he wants and bring support. So Vampire against Lakemane makes sense. He probably wants to preserve veterans, to take out leadership from the low leadership army, then from the taking from 4 to 3, not that big of a deal as from 1 to 0. So yeah. Oh wow, that's a big deal. I rolled 3 6s with bats, so I broke through fortification in 1 round. But he's not holding back himself. 6 damage on 1 roll. Okay. So I think this is the usual approach. Spend bodyguard to save your soldiers. To be honest, right now, when I stand with my current experience, I'm not even sure if this is that important to save soldiers from dying. Maybe it would be worth to take that 6 damage, take that hit, and end the round. Bulk shouldn't be dying anyway, because with that bodyguard token, it would be really hard for him to punch through this army and kill it. So I can either merge both armies, or I can use regroup action to heal both armies. I can bring these armies and then finish the Eastern Spur next turn, right? Bodyguard tokens are that safe vest, that one extra life, that are very important. And usually in current gameplay, I really like to preserve them and hold on to them as long as possible. But here, maybe also not incorrectly, I decided, you know what, I broke through the fortification in one go. If I manage to take it, it will be actually big tempo win for me, which is especially that I have 3 armies around Bolg, so Bolg shouldn't be in that big of a danger himself anyway. So there's a lot of reason to take the advantage and try to win on tempo. Yeah, okay. We both do the mandatory, War of the Ring, complaining about your opponent's luck, because that's our culture, right? That's what we do. You're not a true War of the Ring player if you don't vent about sixes of your opponent or action dice rolls. But all in good sport. So I start with the bottom army. I'm attacking on sixes. I roll with great orcs. Maybe I should have rolled with orcs to just gather a little bit of that more of leadership before I roll, but we'll see. If I hit and I will deny him 1 leadership token, it will also reduce his power for the incoming rounds. I missed totally everything. I'm hitting on sixes because for the South Army, this is the first round of combat and they're attacking uphill. So, and he hits me for 4 damage with leadership token. Oh no, wait! I was pressing. I'm sorry. I'm dumb. I was pressing with bulk. So, yeah, I didn't swap yet. Yeah. Probably I wanted to first expand as much as I can the stronger army, so the bottom army can finish with weaker enemy. Okay, so he took my leadership token, he put some massive damage, and I put only 1 damage. Okay, little bit fair to be honest, because my previous round was crazy too. So I think I will be... No, I continue pressing. Yeah, that army is not stopping yet. I use orcs to get a token. And I can't hit for life. Oh, wow, wait. Because this was the bottom army right now, I think. Yeah, it was the bottom army. So I'm using... Yeah, fortunately he hits once, but fortunately without any maneuvers. It is just 1 damage. And I'm not hitting on sixes anymore, so I continue pressing. And I can't hit my great orcs, but he hits me for massive damage. Oh, complete devastation. Yeah, okay. It doesn't look good. So I barely broke through the fortification and my both armies are already expanded. The difficulty here is if I stop fighting right now, when he begins next round, he can use archery attack to shoot me with 3 archers, which is not that big of a deal, but every damage counts, and then attack me without bodyguard tokens, and I don't have any defensive cards. He might have a chance to win the game. And it's a bit scary, so I really want to finish this fight and be sure that I'm not losing the game next turn. Okay, so I changed, I think, to the bulk army or to the bottom army. I'm not sure. I'm rolling maneuver dice and 2 dice. Yeah, so I'm changed to bulk army. I got some hits, which is important, and he got 2 damage. Yeah, so he kills 1 of my soldiers, and he uses Bilbo to tank the hits. Yeah, but I didn't get the maneuver. Yeah, since he expanded his damaging maneuvers, he doesn't have that great odds to deal me the 4 damage here. I may lose the game in this fight, but I decided, you know what? I lost so much that if I don't win it here, I may not win the game, you know. I took a little bit too much of a risk. Okay, now I'm hitting Great Orcs. It is good to take away the leadership. Only 2 damage, so not the best. Fortunately, he didn't roll his maneuver, so he took 1 damage on me. Okay, and I already started removing his dice, so he's running only 4 dice with 1 leadership instead of 5 dice with 2 leadership, which is big difference, because it also removes that top how much damage he can do, the high roll potential. Okay, so now since every damage kills some soldier, I decided to swap to the bottom army, because now if I reduce this army to the lowest number of soldiers, I will not be in such a game losing risk with my bulk army. So I want to sacrifice all I can here and kill as much soldiers here, so my bulk can finish the rest with the minimal risk of losing the game. Finally, my great orcs start hitting, so 1 damage with 1 leadership, so Bard is dying, and yeah, his leadership is gone, so he again lost a die with leadership. He dealt me damage, so only Great Orc is staying here. So what do I do? And I swap armies. This is lifeline. If he will get the hit of all 3 hits, he wins the game. But if I stop here, he may win the game either way. Especially if he has the 3rd move to strike, which isn't that good of an odd, because he doesn't have any cards, so he would need to top deck move to strike. But even with some, I don't know, archery attack, maybe I should have stopped at this point, because it should be fairly safe, right? But I decided, you know what? Yeah, we're fighting. Yeah, if he hits, not only hits 3 dice, but if he hits 2 dice, one of them will be maneuver, I lose the game too. So that's the big risk of bulk, but okay, I got 2 damage, so I kill him, and he missed everything. Whoa. Okay, that was something. That was some extensive fight from the start. I think I would have played a little bit differently. I think I took unnecessary risks. I think seeing how big is and powerful, and with Bilbo is the Eastern Spur, overall I think a better play would be to move those armies past that, ignore it, and you know what? Make some bashing of the camp. Just, siege the camp, weaken them, or maybe even ignore the camp and go try to take front gate and force responses from 3 people. And those 2 armies with bulk and still bodyguard token would be able, and goblins coming soon, would be able to bully the camp, and then he would need to react to that. His elves are not gathered, so would he manage to gather strength of elves? Would he move out of Eastern Spur? Then I would be able to take it without the fight, right? Maybe he would move the Bilbo out of here to supplement these armies. Then he would lose 1 usage of Bilbo. Like, there are a lot of ways. It would be very difficult for him, and I think attacking Eastern Spur, I felt fairly confident, because I had 2 armies, a bulk with the bulk ring, bulk bodyguard, and I managed to take it. But I think the cost was too high, and also risk of losing the game was too high in the end. But yeah, I took it, so it's not bad in the end. Not the worst. We gather our dice. Let's see what will happen. Oh, I got both Blow the Horns and Captive of War. Healing, quite important for me right now. And I got Troubled Mind. Yeah, maybe he will be activating Gandalf, so I'll be able to block him. He get 1C. Yeah, this is mostly the usual what happens with 3 people, just the ones. And ooh, Thorin, dangerous Thorin. He's getting closer and closer. Ones are being removed from the pool, so the higher the chance that he will get a 3 or 1 and a 2. And when he will join, yeah, the front gate will be nasty place to take, especially with that scary camp army. Okay, I'm splitting my leadership. I want to probably collect those 2 armies. Maybe use blow the horns, maybe use some regroup to heal them. And I'm splitting leadership around and bats around. Yeah, I got an eye, which is cool. I will unlock my gobos. I have lots of movement for single army, so I can do some cheeky stuff. Yeah. And he has very flexible die. 2 Wheels of the West, 2 Sea dice, Palantir, very flexible. So what does he do? He uses Sea die to place Bilbo, and he moves to strike. Third move to strike this game. This is funny how we're just talking how maybe I should have stopped because I should be safe, but I would probably lose the game there. Which is quite funny. Because, I mean, in most cases, this would be probably stopping there would... I mean, continuing fighting there probably would lose me the game more often than stopping. But in this case, this is what happened. And he runs at me to finish off the weakened Great Orcs, which is very uncomfortable. So yeah, I hope to just, remove little bit of that his nasty leadership and maybe do some damage. He looks to just kill me. Reasonable, yeah. He got the damage. I didn't hit anything, and he cut off my army. So I don't have a way to save this army, because even with a sea die, when I move next, this is the only place I can go. If I go here, he can move to Eastern Spur, retake it, and kill my army. So with my free health, I need to basically save bulk, I lose the game. So I use Sea die to move away bulk, because I have to do this or I lose the game. So very inconvenient stuff. Puts a lot of pressure on my armies. I move bulk instead of moving armies, so I lose a lot of tempo. I lose my soldiers, I lose my great orcs. I lose a lot of stuff. So a big advantage for 3 people. Really cool by Galahad to use the opportunity to just put pressure on me and finish off my damaged armies. Don't give me time. He even gets cards here. So yeah, I just hope to roll something. I'm rolling 5 dice with 1 leadership here, so but he just massacres me. Like, he hits like a truck. And I get just 1 damage. Yeah, so he retakes Eastern Spur with massive massacre here. So it doesn't look too good. I mean, at this point, I basically the only thing I have is lower slopes, right? So it doesn't look very convenient for me. It is not end of the game yet, far from it. His army here is not full, but this army is strong. If I don't have bodyguard token, it is very dangerous for me to fight with that army, especially that it has Bilbo. But rest of the map is still not prepared for me, or not prepared to defend. So I can take some Dales camps. I can try maybe going even for the front gate. Without leadership, it is very risky, but I can do a lot of stuff here. Especially that I have that 1 more sea die and a lot of army movements, and I'm unlocking my goblins, right? So he uses Palantir to do what? The Last Stand. Oh, and he heals his Eastern Spur. Okay, all that effort. So this is also funny. If I would have stopped at any point fighting for Eastern Spur, he would be able to rebuild it, which would be mildly infuriating, you know. But yeah, okay, Eastern Spur can be out of the question for now. I don't have two more armies to just bleed over that fortification, so yet at least. Okay, he uses tokens, he needs some recruitment, so I think this is like the correct decision to make here. But I unlocked my gobbles, I unlocked my bulk, and again, I have two armies. He just killed two of my armies there, but I again have two armies, which is good deal. He uses Tandril to put token here instead of archery, which not very difficult decision. What, archery for one archer? Come on. So, yeah, but he needs soldiers. He needs armies to stop me right now. Archery is good if there's some army behind it to follow. And he keeps recruiting, which makes sense. And I press forward to attack his weak spot, which also makes sense. I decided here, which is also quite interesting, do I move goblins so they're able to support bulk? But then I decided, you know what, I need to gather my armies as soon as possible to have the sooner I will start gathering this army, the sooner we'll be able to participate in anything, even for some double pressure. If I go goblins with bulk here, then elves can come for support freely. If I have one more army to go through here, even with goblins, then the elves are tied here, and then it puts a good like strategic plan for Shadow. He has very weak camp and front gate. Where does he gather his soldiers from? If he moves from Eastern Spur, I will have army here to retake it. If he'll move elves, I will have goblins and maybe also this army to help and support it. So if he'll try to protect camp and front gate, it will open some weakness elsewhere. And I think this is like important strategic strategy from Shadow. Don't fight where three people are strong. Go where they're weak and take some easy victories if you can. Especially that I have the warband, so I'm able to quite easily either flip those tokens and gather those armies, or with that one card I can move those two soldiers, add two orcs, add the work, and then I have another full army to go. So I moved, and obviously I go for the camp. I don't want him to be able to recruit soldiers, especially that he doesn't have many soldiers. So I want to keep it that way. No, unfortunately, I lost all of my great orcs. Usually, they're a good resource of terrain superiority, and I lost that. And this is one of the most important things about great orcs. Not you read their maneuver, which is like decent, but not that important. Not their combat strength, because in case of Shadow, I think it is less useful than in case of free people because of many ways. But many ways, because of basically Shadow has works, free people have Bilbo, and free people have dwarven regulars, and all of these things play well into combat, additional combat strength. And Shadow doesn't have tools like that, so usually when the combat strength of Grave Orcs kick in, it means that you have like 4 soldiers with 4 damage, and they are not going to fight for long. So yeah, and I want to use my bats to simply put as much damage as possible. Oh wow, okay, this was really good. So he dealt me 2 damage, but I massacred them completely. So yeah, I don't have many soldiers, so I really need to limit Galahad's number of soldiers as much as possible too. Especially that, you know, if Thorin comes in and if he would put a lot of tokens, that could be end of me. At least I limited that camp recruitment with Thorin token. Mastering for battle. This is quite useful card for me. Maybe I will not have master die. Maybe I will have some weird rolls. Flipping those tokens may be useful, and Great Confusion. This is really good to have Great Confusion and Captain of War, because now that I don't have the bodyguard token, I can get some attacked by 3 people, and they can aim for some lucky win, in a sense, archery attack, Gandalf shot followed by attack, and you can get like an 8, even 10 damage without ability to respond. So Captain of War and Great Confusion at least are those cards that limit that potential. So it is important to have some of those cards. I got a 2. 2 doesn't give him Thorin, so I think I keep it. Yeah, 2 without the 2 without the sea die is one of the best. We see card event, fate event is one of the best thing I could have hoped for. And yeah, I got Bats and Leadership. It is a little bit spreading out the leadership. It is a little bit of a mini game how you want to do it. I want a leadership here because I may be gathering these armies, maybe moving them somewhere. I want obviously to have sea die on those goblins, leadership token on those goblins, because having that leadership obviously unlocks movement by sea dice, cards, and all of that. Sometimes having bulk between 3 and 4 may be not that big of a deal, but especially if I want, for example, to threaten front gate or something like that, every reroll matters. But on the other hand, maybe goblins here, maybe they will be unlocked, maybe one more bats somewhere. There are decisions that are minor, but a lot of minor good or bad decisions can stack up over time. Oh wow, okay, what a roll. 3 Palantires. It's not what I wanted to see. I didn't really need a turn with 3 Palantires, but what can you do? He has 2 Palantires himself, but apart from that, yeah, should be good enough. He uses Gather Marshal. Oh no, okay. So this is quite irritating. He stacks up his front gate. With each soldier, it gets progressively harder to deal with. What do I do? I use Trouble Mind. Because he has activated Gandalf with concentration token, I don't want that massive blast at my bulk. It is not a fun times. So I use to put it on Gandalf. He can remove it still. It is important to remember that you can remove it with Will of the West die, or I think any other die result, and one moving fate 1 left. But both are very high costs. So if he will just trade Will of the West for my Palantir, I'll be happy for that. And what do? I draw cards. Makes sense. I have space, I have Palantir, and I want to have fewer and more decisions, because probably, I didn't have that many good options. Orcs from Gundabad is one of the best cards in the game, especially for Shadow. This is the only card. It is the only move or attack card that can be triggered by master die. So if you have too many masters, it can save you. And it also gives you 2 soldiers and ability to immediately attack. So it can really save you from a lot of clunky and uncomfortable spots. It is really, really strong. Very flexible card. It is almost always useful. So he uses master die to recruit. Makes sense. He's preparing those elves because of all that my initial attacks and pressure. He wasn't able to gather them, but he knows that gobos are coming, so he needs to prepare them. What do? I am undecided. Okay, I am decided. So I decided it is time. to take the front gate before he will maybe draw more cards, find some fogs. If he will use fog right now, I still have 2 more dice with which I can attack. Yeah. What do I do? Unfortunately he gets the card, which is not good for me. And I use Fierce Defense, which might sound weird. I got surprised for a moment here myself, because usually I just want to expand as many bats as I can to just bash through the fortification as fast as I can. But it also, I think, can be a guessing work in a sense that, you know what, he will most probably open with Dwarven Veterans, then I want that maneuver card to have lower chance of triggering. Let's see how it works. I got a 6. I got 2 6s, which is good start. Okay, this is good. And he got nothing. Okay, this is good start. Fortification, 1 third way to go, and without any damage. So, he cancelled my reroll. Losing 4 rerolls is a shame. And I missed everything, and he did me 2 damage. Okay, little bit hurts, but I should be fairly safe, since, again, there are only 2 elven soldiers here. I didn't give him more time to recruit, so I should be fairly safe, especially with Captain of War and Great Confusion. So even if I will be dealt a lot of damage, at least if I will have at least 3 health left, I should be more or less unkillable in 1 attack. And then I can retreat and maybe, save something. Okay, I use Captain of War. I think makes sense. I want to expand that token before it will be removed by Dwarven Veterans, and I don't want to lose soldiers and lose dice yet. Oh, I miss everything. Yeah, well, but this is fight with fortification. Okay, and we continue with bats, and he continues with, okay, I got a hit, so, and he got a hit. Okay, so this is fight with the fortification. It always, most of the times, take a lot of turns. Finally, by multiple rounds with the bats, I'm able to bash through the front gate and start damaging this army, and still none of the soldiers left, so it is decent. Yeah, and I play Great Confusion here. I want, I didn't have much of anything else to play, to be honest, and I want just limit damage taken. So I rolled enough damage to kill him. Yes, and he hits his maneuver. That little bastard. Those dwarven, pesky dwarven veterans. So he killed me 2 soldiers. Yeah. What does he do? So I have 8 points actually. If I had 2 points, taking front gate is insta win. So he needs to watch out. Gobos, this army, there a lot of things are happening. So he plays Call to Arms. Yeah, he wants to gather his armies. So he has nasty, big, important elven army here. And it is dangerous. It is very dangerous for me. This army is very strong, and I cannot there's no army on the board. I don't have army on the board that can compete with this one. So this is a little bit scary. With all that else that prevent taking damage, deal extra damage, leadership, yeah. So what do I do? How do I save the situation? If I will just move out with this army, he will be able to attack and probably kill me. If I will do nothing, he will be able to use a sea die to move up and block me and maybe kill me on the next die. I mean, and I don't even have a sea die to run away with bulk as I used here. So I can move an army and leave bulk behind, but again, it puts me so much that I will basically use a die to save bulk, but not move bulk toward any of my armies, which sets me extremely behind in tempo. Uh, Not fun times. Yeah. So we debate a lot, we talk a lot. I'm not reading through this. I'm not sure if this is that important. I guess probably we're complaining about dice and luck. At least me. I do that a lot. Uh, but Galahad likes that too. Otherwise, if he didn't like it, he probably wouldn't play War of the Ring. Um, so yeah, I have plans. Maybe I move two armies uh, somewhere. And in the end, I decided, yeah, to use my orc from Gundabad, the lifeline saving card. I have enough health that my army has 8 health, and he can do at most 6 damage in one round of combat if he hits everything with the Wood Elf maneuver. So I take it, I take it. And he probably uses, yeah, Will of the West to attack. Unfortunately, the flat terrain and hills are very good terrain for elves. I have only works here that are good at flat terrain, so he's getting terrain superiority. Wait, he just moved up? What just happened? Ah, he used 2 army movements. He took the slow roll slopes and moved here. Huh. I wonder why he did that. Huh. That was weird. Retaking lower slope, as at least he puts me down in the points, so I will not insta win. Yeah, you know what? Maybe if he attacked me here and I rushed to Ruins of Dale, no. Maybe he was afraid that if he will attack me here and he will have bad luck, which happens, then suddenly he will not be in a good position and I can just take some points somewhere and win. Yeah, I think this is smart. He doesn't need to make any rash, risky decisions. Because if he just rushed to fight me and had a bad roll and had bad luck, then he may lose a game out of that. So that's the mark of a great strategist, that he doesn't just do stuff and complain about bad luck if that happens. He plans what with do I need to expose myself to bad luck. I really like that move. Very smart. So I don't want to use my hybrid die as my last die and leave him ability to first attack me and then have first action on the next turn. I use my eye die to simply recruit goblins and see what happens. I have hybrid die, so in any case I can maybe leave army with bulk somewhere, so I will not be exposed to the sudden death, or maybe I will be able to merge goblins, or maybe if he will keep ignoring that army, I will move out these goblins and just attack that lone soldier here. Okay. He uses Tandril, yeah, he doesn't have any archery attacks, so he uses Tandril. These tokens are really irritating, give him ability to gather an army, and he attacks my bulk right now, which is cool. Yeah, I think overall it was a proper decision in the long run. So he draws a card, right? And he decided to play Wood of Archers. I decided to play Wargs. Wargs against dwarves are rarely that useful, as we were able to see before, because even if I manage to kill a soldier, there's usually a dwarven veteran running around somewhere, so opponent army doesn't lose dice. But against elves, wargs are awesome, because elves don't have that combat strength 2 on their soldiers, so every death reduces their number of dice. So let's see how it happens. Oh wow, okay, he got 4 damage, which is not very convenient, but I got 2 damage back with maneuver, so yeah, you know what, I take it. So he loses elf soldier, so his soldiers are much weaker here. I had to run away, so I need to lose a soldier again. And I use my hybrid die, you know what, to merge my armies. And Bolg managed to survive and got a fresh new 10 health army. And I think this is also like a cool example how to manage your risk by both parties. You know, I liked how Galahad managed his risk around the possibility of what if combat goes well. At least he has the points. At least he's not losing immediately. But also this is example how to manage risk as Bolg. Do you have a backup plan when you don't have the bodyguard token, right? So you play around that possibility that you don't die to stupid stuff, basically, right? Some bad roll, some extremely risky plays by opponent, that Bolg is kept healthy and happy. If you take care of your Bolg will take care of you. That's the message. Okay. This is very also interesting fight, a game. A lot of stuff is happening, lots of fight, lots of death, and this is barely round 4. Thorin is still not in play, and it is intense. Suddenly, I have 5 soldier strong army with 4 leadership if I put token, and he has only 4 soldiers. He has 1 die less, and especially if my maneuver, Varg maneuver, will pull off again, I can put him maybe down to 3 soldiers, and man, that army will be at pain. So there are, despite all the death, despite all that losing soldiers and armies, and Galahad really pulling off maneuvers here, and my soldiers dying left and right. This is not one-sided game, right? This is not a game that at any point you can say, oh yeah, Shadow has like only 30 or 20% to win. No, this is quite close game, and down to the line like all the time, and I like it. So he activates two generals. Dane is quite important to put up those leadership tokens. He doesn't activate Gandalf, so he has only two leadership tokens. One on this army. Understandable. He needs any leadership he can get, and he gets 2C. And I think I don't risk going up to 3, because if Thorin will join this turn, and Eagles will join this turn, oh man, there's no much hope for me then, I think. Ooh, and I got move to strike. Wait, are there 4 move to strikes? We used 3? Yeah, there are 4 move to strikes, okay. Very important for me, because my army is a little bit out of position. Maybe even more than a little bit, So having that extra reach is very good, especially for Shadow, because attacking here into this army, I might have advantage, but again, it is risky. Attacking into this army, I don't think I have advantage. This is with Bilbo, veterans, and it's in fortification, but it will move out. Lakemen and veterans and all of that, and Dane is still a very dangerous army. So I need to move again where 3 people are weak. Oh my, Thorin shining armor, and Thorin can join this turn. So not fun times for Shadow, right? Especially in this area. So I'm spreading. Yeah, I have two important armies, so I want to capitalize on them. I want to have 4 bats, so I'm flexible in attacking. And 2 leadership tokens are enough. in my opinion here. I roll, he rolls. He has nice flexible roll. I got very inflexible roll. I don't like it. I have 3 dice, 3 master dice, which are too many here. But yeah, still, bats can allow me to move. I have them move to strike, which is very important. So I can use bats token with master die to move bulk army here. I can use C die to move here, and then I can use move to strike to attack fallen bridge, to attack lower slopes. Yeah, there's still a lot of stuff that I can do. And you know, he moves here, which is understandable. And he moves his, which is very wise too. This is very interesting. He moves his lone soldier here back to the Ravenhill because he sees that I have full army here that is uncontested, basically. All of his strength is north. This weakling goblin army can basically solo take everything here. So he starts moving back to Ravenhill so he can regroup and at least put some soldiers here to contest my Gobbo army. Yeah. And now I'm probably thinking I have moved to strike. He has 4 soldiers here. Wouldn't that be funny if I use bulk army and just with the Gobbos I even take the extra maneuver card, and I would be able to and I have 2 bats, so I can win this battle. But that would be, yeah, okay, I'm coming here, which is interesting. And if I win this combat, I can win the game, basically, because this army is too far probably to. I mean, if he'll move this army away, I can still take Eastern Spur. So my Gobbos can take here. So if I win this combat, I win the game. I start with Battle Fury to be hitting on 5s because front gate is mountains. So I'm attacking uphill for the first round, and he starts with Dense Fog. So yeah. Not happy dreaming, right? But to be honest, this is something you need to take account for too. But I dealt 3 damage to him. No, wait, I dealt 3 damage to him. He dealt 2 damage to me. It is so, yeah. It is still not the worst, just because I can now move to Fallen Bridge and at least remove those tokens and threaten Ravenhill. So he uses C die and he pumps up Thorin. And Thorin is enough. I'm not able to take this army anymore. Thorin with Mighty Strokes, which maybe is not that game breaking because he has good maneuvers to use, but it is good to have. But most importantly, Shining Armor for that extra health. And I would need to attack again for 1 more turn uphill. No, I'm not taking it. He will have one good roll, then attack me. It will be game over. No. I need to change plans. So what do? Then he uses archery attack. Yeah, because he has 2 archers here. 1 archer here, does it reach? Probably not. Maybe we missed that. I'm not sure. But it seems like it reaches, so maybe he should roll 3 dice. And he dealt 1 damage, which is irritating. But I do. I'm taking that recruitment tokens. I'm not allowing him to recruit anymore. So you know what? Yeah, we dealt with it. If only I had that awesome card that I was mentioning before that allows me to recruit 2 orcs that I used here, right? To use 2 orcs and attack, I would have 1 more attack. But okay. So, but I left one goblin here to block his move out. If I took it, he would be able to, attack out, maybe retake camp, maybe even threaten the fallen breach. But right now he needs to spend a die to move out. Then he cannot leave those works just to let them be, because they can move back to the front gate. So he needs to deal with them too. So I left some stink behind me. He uses Will of the West, which makes sense. And okay, it is interesting. Yeah, he moves in here, so my goblins cannot move attack from here, which is irritating. I need to move them out manually. And he moves these soldiers here because he realized, yeah, he needs some support to take care of this mess. I now use Great Red. Oh, this is cool. And I'm able to remove 2 tokens. So the 2 tokens, this is very situational and very clunky card, but with a lot of requirement, randomness, and rarely at this point 3 people actually have tokens that matter. But there are 2 tokens that actually matter. The Eastern Spore and the Ravenhill, both tokens matter. So if I take away this token, I still have the Warband. I still have the card that allows me to regroup this army, take leadership, and even move it to be ready to attack. So yeah, weakening this matters because I don't need to win this turn either, Still, 3 people have a lot of mess to clear. They have 1 master die that doesn't allow them to like attack and help with all that stuff. I still need to take care of stuff. I mean, I still am able to mess, and maybe I have 2 points here. 2, 4, 8. Yeah, I'm not able to win this turn, but it's dangerously close. I use goblins, which is interesting. Yeah, I want to make sure to kill this guy in one go. I hit maneuver, so at least he's dead. So yeah, I'm able to kill him. It costs me 1 more life, but you know what? At least he's dead, and I may use my master die to use some recruitment and get health back. I'm wondering how I want to split my armies, because I want to use 2 master dies to take Ravenhill and lower slopes. So I will go 4, 8. I will go out to 10. Right, I can win here. If he has no way, which albeit is quite a long shot, but if he's no way to stop me to retake anything, or to stop me from taking, I can use 1 master die from Eastern Spore, the Southern Spore, with bats to move into Ravenhill. I can move 2 goblins here into lower slopes, and then I have 4, 6, 8, 10 points. So I'm splitting my armies, I'm weakening myself. This is quite desperate, and I can win this. We are actually playing up to very late. So Galahad said a hard stop. Galahad is a very assertive person. He said, I'm not playing, despite being like only 2 dice left, right? He said, I'm not playing at this moment. We stop playing right now, we continue another day, and we continue another day. So he uses Hope Rekindled. Very unpleasant stuff, but that's what 3 people have. So he uses that just to move that lone soldier into Ravenhill, which is enough for now. I may not, even if I was able to attack Ravenhill, I may not be able to win it, but with Master Dice, I'm not able even to attack it. Again, how cool would it be to have that card that puts 2 orcs and allows me to attack? That would be massive. Basically game winning. But I needed to use it earlier. So yeah. Okay. So I decided, you know what, since I cannot win this turn anymore, I use that master die bats to collect my army, so I can actually conquer it next turn. He uses some regroup, so he heals those army to full, and he regroups Dane. Yeah, quite important. And I use master die. I also want to heal. Okay, I healed only 1 damage, and then that lone goblin here, he tries to heal and he doesn't heal. I specifically, this is important because if he uses archery attack to kill this goblin and then moves out, he can clear all that mess in one action with one go. But if he needs to attack these goblins and just slowly move out, that gives him a little bit more issues to deal with. So he has Thorin, which is not too good for me. He has extra die, so I can't even out-tempo him. But this is like the late game stuff. We both are on our last legs. This is not, let's say, a battle game anymore. This is game of position and efficiency. I don't even need to battle that much to gather my 10 points. Basically, I need to just grab points and hold them, or with some, superior mobility, or with some catching, or being irritating, or splitting armies. I can take Eastern Spore, and I can take these two. I can maybe take Ravenhill. There's a lot of stuff, and so what that he has 2 mighty strong armies if they're not in position, right? Let's see what happens. He uses 2 generals. And unfortunately, again, I don't want to risk Fate 3 because Bjorn with a card may join the battle, and that would be basically end for me. And he got Eagles. Yeah, not very pleasant. At least they will not participate in this round, because if they were able to just finish everything around, that would be very helpful for him. Okay. He has quite uncomfortable role with 2 master dice, but C dice for extra mobility, 1 hybrid die, a lot of cool stuff, and luckily I am able to attack a lot of times and move a lot of times, which is like the most important in the late game. Yeah, so he shoots with the archery attack in that goblin, and he missed both shots. So he has to do his dirty job manually. He attacks the goblin. I don't really have much to play. I would be able to play bats here. I don't know why I don't. Maybe it doesn't matter really. Probably actually it doesn't matter. He gets maneuver, so I'm not even able to take the damage, and he moves out with the Thorin. What is important? It is not important. When you move out with the Thorin, you break the fortification, but I have already broken it already, so a lot of thinking. This is like a puzzle game. In rounds like that, sometimes you need to stop for literally multiple minutes and think, how can you use your dice, especially if you have dice advantage, movement advantage over your opponent, where to move goblins, how to use this army to take Eastern Spore, but this one is next, so not very convenient. Can I use this goblin somehow to threaten that he cannot move out easily, right? Where are my points? I need to most possibly win this round, because it will get only harder and harder. Fortunately for me, if he doesn't have Eagle event, he needs to spend C die to put Eagles. So if he wants to get Eagles in next turn, he will need to have 1 less attack this turn, which is big deal. Yeah, okay. So I decided, he has master dice that he doesn't have much to do with them, but there are a lot of events that allow recruitment. I don't want that 1 soldier to become 2 soldiers, to become 4 soldiers. There's an event that puts 3 elves in the Ravenhill. I don't really think he has that much, because most probably he would use it as a first move, but you know what? He just attacked and got a generic event card. So maybe these are not big odds, but I don't see why should I risk it. So I'm going for it. Fortunately, goblins are paying off. They're giving me cards, so which are very important at this point. Every card is matters. I really need to break that fortification, so I decided to use the no quarter. I have some damage to spare. He has only 1 soldier with 1 leadership. And it's paying off. Oh wow, yeah. Oh, okay. I was able to break the fortification in one go, which is very important, because now I'm hitting much easier. He decides to run away, and which is finally enough incorrect. Wait, what just happened? I dealt him 3 damage. Oh, okay. I missed that. We missed that he escaped. So but all of his areas are adjacent to me, so I choose where he escapes, and I would be able to put him here in the corner of the map, where he wouldn't matter. It is big deal, and the fact that he was able to move here is irritating, because he may actually do something irritating. So he splits his armies in an interesting way. He leaves veteran with Bilbo here, which I think is understandable, because he is not a fool. He sees that I can gather those armies and attack Easternspur. So in this case, if he moves back the Dwarven veteran, especially with Bilbo, for reinforcement here, I don't have that good odds to take it with the army that I'm showing, but I have a card that may be important. He is attacking my my lone wolf. Why don't I use the bat? Interesting. Do I have something that I have in mind? Okay. He is using Dwarven veterans. Doesn't matter if he scores a hit, he scores. Oh, yeah. Okay. Wet noodle contest. I use regroup. I probably just hope that I will get 1 hit, survive, and then I will use maneuver to get a 2nd hit, which is a long shot, but a shot nevertheless. He misses again. Okay, and I get a hit. This is it is a shame I didn't use bats, because that would actually put some pressure onto him. Okay, and now this is I was playing around some minimal odds, but they're slowly like paying off, in the sense that if I hit maneuver now, I will kill 1 soldier. Yay! He misses, but he hits other stuff. Wait, why did he roll so many dice? I mean, he has 3 rolls, so it doesn't matter. He needs 1 roll to hit, and I missed, so yeah. His armies are very split, but so I would be able to move an attack, right? I can move this goblin here and attack here, and I just need 1 damage to kill him. But do I have time to do that? I'm not sure, to be honest. Maybe it is better to move into other spaces. So I use marching companies, which makes sense. I have lots of armies to group. Does it matter? Why did I move here, not here? Probably not the best choice, but I'm not sure if it matters in the long run. I'm not going this way, I'm going this way, so it doesn't matter. Yeah. So yeah, I'm taking my points. I'm at 10 points, which is no, I'm at 8 points. 2, 6, 8. No, I am 10 points. So he needs to retake some points and not allow me to take this. I'm leaving Bolg behind, because I don't want him to win by just sudden charge and killing my Bolg, I don't know, with some archery attack he used. Maybe next turn, with Eagles, there's a lot of stuff. So he uses Rally, which makes sense. And he heals. Irritating. I use a C die. This is also quite important in games like that. Which dice to use when? Do I need fast movement or do I need many army movements? And I decided I need many army movements. 1C should be enough. So I'm using these goblins to attack this guy and speed my army up. This is cool if my army will stand here, because first it will protect Ravenhill and Lower Slopes at the same time, but also open up my path to Ruins of Dale. So I got 2 damage at him, and I have bats. Those bats are rather not useful anymore. So he dealt me 1 damage and I cleared them and I moved my army, and I got some sweet card. He uses On the March. He chooses 2 armies to move 2 spaces. Very useful. Yeah, so he used Hybrid Die for double movement. So this is cool. With 1 card he regained 4 points, and that nasty army here is actually threatening to retake Lower Slopes. Maybe something more even. Yeah, so how can I get... So this is an issue. Can I defend my points and take more points? I need to get 4 points and not lose any points, which is not easy to do. But he has only 1 die. There is a puzzle here. I think if you sit and think hard enough, there are ways to do it. Like maybe go with goblins here, and wait, he's retaking it. So what is happening? I don't know. Okay, maybe go with goblins here and try to attack the camp, blocking the path along the way. Maybe use the cards to move here, with this army here, and then threaten Eastern Spur. He still has Dane, so he can give leadership token somewhere, Ruins of Dale is not enough, and with Thorin, this army is basically immortal, because Thorin gives the Shining Armor 5 extra health. I'm not able to. I don't have resources to fight this army. So basically I need to slow down this army, but also move faster than this army. So I think there's a puzzle here, and this is like something also quite cool about this game. But I will not spend time myself here to think about this. I maybe use those goblins. There's a lot of options. Let's just see what happened. I use army die, and I am probably trying out lots of moves. We're talking moves. Oh, this is cool. I used army die to split these goblins. So the goblin staying on the front, protecting Ravenhill, and this entire army is blocking and protecting Lower Slopes. If he will attack my goblins, he will speed them up so they are able to take Ruins of Dale and take camp maybe. Okay, what does he do? He uses Master Die to take Eagles, to take a token, which makes sense. If he will attack these to try to force through, but then what? Will he split? I can maybe retake the Fallen Bridge then. Lots of... and now my plan is seen. Yeah, he is not able to place a leadership token to this army, so he's not able to use a C die to to support Eastern Spur. So I have my big army with 3 leadership, 5 healthy soldiers against some lone Dwarven regular in a fortification, but it is no match, right? So if he doesn't have dense fog, these are my points. Oh wait, but he has a way to protect it. He can move this soldier out, so I will not be able to attack it. Okay, but he uses eagles, which is a sad news for me because it probably means that he has dense fog, and if he'll not score 5 hits on 6s. That's why I wasn't using bats for the entire round. I was so smart, you know. I was preserving bats because damaging those armies didn't matter that much probably in the end, but it might matter in taking Eastern Spur. So that was like a long plan. Interesting. Yeah. So yeah, I take my odds, but he wouldn't place eagles if losing Eastern Spur. If my attack and Eastern Spur would lose him the game, but still, if I will be able to damage as much as possible the Eastern Spur, expand the bat, it will be easier to take later. So I got 1 hit. I needed to score 4 6s with bats, then I would win the game. I scored 1 6. Good enough, to be honest. And he dealt me 1 damage back, not too important. Okay, so this is another point in the game when after all that carnage, after all that back and forth, still there was hope for me, even despite this was round 6, right? If he didn't have dense fog here, and maybe some other stuff. Obviously, it is easy to say like that because if he doesn't have one thing, he maybe has different thing. Maybe he plays differently, right? He was able still to protect the Eastern Spur by moving out, so it's not like I would just win the game on the spot here. But I would be set for next round much easier, much better. Yep. Okay, we have cards. So this is the late game, and the super late game where this is not about winning battles, winning combats, and killing each other that much anymore. This is more about like a chess, in a sense, how you use your limited resources to position around enemies and pressure them, and maybe outpace. I place a lot of leadership tokens because I have no idea where I will want to move. I have no idea where I will be able to move, to be honest. So yeah, I'm placing out bats in different locations so I can use bats to maybe move with master die, right? And let's see. So he got even. So okay, so that super immortal army with Thorin got even more powerful now. He gets like all the dice, all the power. Actually, right now, Thorin with a single dwarven veteran would have like 4 dice with 4 leadership and 7 health. So it would be one of the strongest armies, at least 7 health. One of the strongest army in the board anyway, and he's with that massive stuff. So okay, but it is not about winning the fights necessarily. Okay, he got the card to place in Bjorn. Not good sign for me, since it allows him, to get a lot of stuff that he needs. Another army to rampage, and all that blockage, is not important anymore. It stops being important anyway because of the eagles, but even more so. There's still some stuff I can try to do. I have number of attack dice. The Palantir is still attack. The master die can be a move with bats. So my northern army can still take the Eastern Spur, maybe barge through this army, maybe try to camp, and maybe even a front gate. There are lifelines here. There are ways to play, and this is the fun stuff about the Battle of Five Armies. How it starts as that carnage, that battle when you trade soldiers and you just bleed out on each front, and the 8th game is like a position and maneuver puzzle. So yeah. What do? I use sudden assault to attack Eastern Spur. So I open up with Palantir to spend as attack. It might make sense. Just I want to limit his cards. Sometimes it is good to be able to leave Palantir as the more flexible card, but you know what? At least I get cards instead of him, so it is like 2 card difference. I use the Vampire Lag because I want to break through and kill those guys. Hopefully kill the soldiers, so this will not be that strong. But he is able to run away, which is a little bit inconvenient. He is able to... Why did I do that? I'm not sure. Maybe I want to be able to move this army without punching through this army. Maybe I'm afraid of eagles. Not sure. Not sure how important it is. And right now, yeah, he's using eagles. He just wants to massacre my armies because he has mastered IA and he can open paths. So he kills 1 soldier. He deals damage here, and this one survived, which is important. I may be able to move him to Dale or somewhere. He gets damage here, and he gets damage here. So that army was somewhat important for me, you know. It was my ability to move around and maybe kill. This is maybe, yeah, I should have moved probably entire army, so I would be able to use regroup action, maybe to heal 2 armies. But do I have time? Do I have time to use regroup action? I'm not sure. So I am trying to be as irritating as possible, and I use army die to move and split and block. Probably that was a mistake. I mean, I should have used goblin army because I would be able to do that anyway, and goblin army is more limited to only goblins. Yeah, okay, and I noticed that and I fixed that. Yeah, makes sense. So he now puts up recruitment tokens and use that master die to put out soldiers, which makes sense. Now camp is basically untakeable for me, and I need to search for points in some other places, which is not easy. Oh, but I have Gather and Marshal. Yeah, maybe that was why I moved Lonely Soldier here. I got what? Great Orc. Decent. Maybe 2 orcs would be better at this point, but it is still good. One of the better choices. One of the better cards. And I'm around now running my goblins. Yeah. So I played the card Call to Arms. I want to gather those armies to have health and maybe to take camp, maybe to take something. Yeah. He splits those armies, which is interesting. He still can threaten to retake this, which is irritating, but I'm not sure if I can do something about it. So I use card Marching Companies. No. I'm attacking. Yeah, I'm attacking the Dwarven veteran. I don't want him to allow. I don't want to allow him to retake the Eastern Spur, which is a shame. I'm using my precious dice to. Oh wow! But I managed to kill him. Yeah, I didn't follow the roll. Oh yeah, okay. I got some crazy roll. That was crazy. But I was managed to kill him. So yeah, will he use his precious C die to try to retake it, and if he fails, that can put him in a bad spot? Probably not. So, but he has Bjorn to retake points, so he is retaking the he's retaking lower slopes, he's retaking his points, and now I realize it would be awesome if I were able to put this goblin here in line of Bjorn. So with 1 die, it would be impossible for him to retake Ravenhill because it is protected from every side. But the issue is that he that my Bjorn is here, and if he dies, I lose the game, so I cannot protect Ravenhill. My Bjorn actually is in a way is stopping me from winning the game. If I would be able to put Goblin here, then I have enough meat to protect Ravenhill, and even if he takes the Eastern Spur, I'm able to retake it. I have enough dice for that. Yeah, and I noticed that Polgis I cannot stop him from winning in any way, so there's only one way for me to do this. I probably need to use Hybrid Die anyway. I need to take camp, but it most probably won't happen. Yeah, we're rolling some dice, we're taking some damage, but this army, especially with Bilbo, is too strong, too powerful for my army. I would need some crazy luck, but I didn't get my luck. I have another option. I have Dense Fog. Maybe if he'll attack, maybe he'll miss everything. Again, not the best odds, not the best odds. Yeah, that army is dead. So he uses, actually Bjorn is down to very low health, which is funny. He has only 4 health left. Because he is activating Bjorn with a Sea Die, he loses 1 health each time, which is quite important. So yeah, my last Dense Fog, where I'll be able... This is funny because he was able to just move out camp army to take Dale, retake Dale, and then survive for sure. And then I'm not. Then he has enough time to clear this up, so I would be losing the game. But right now I have the small odds that if he will hit me 0 times, Dense Fog will save me. He hit me exactly one time. If I had at least 1 more health here. Oh man. That's funny. What a funny game. Okay, that was epic game. This is a point where I surrender because basically I have no way of winning. I don't have a way to take points and hold them. In theory, I can gather some armies here, maybe, but his camp can recruit, can regroup to heal. It will be too strong for any of my armies that I would be able to recruit. His Bjorn is still rampaging, can clear this all. I mean, Bjorn is necessary. That one army can kill everything in its way. So there's no way for me, no need to prolong it, that I will be able to, in few turns, what is the fate pool? Yeah, probably in 2 turns, most probably, that I will be able to score 10 points. I will be only losing points from now. So yeah, epic game. Lots of cool maneuvers, lots of cool traps. This was also like quite impressive by Galahad, because I think he doesn't play that much. This game was played like a year and a half ago, to be honest, like over a year ago. And I think he didn't play that much, but he was able to account for like almost any card, if not for any card. He was able to make strategies and even like safely recruit eagles when the Eastern Spur was under a threat, right? And all of that. Use properly his armies, risk manage when and how to move and attack, and I really love that. This was very challenging, a very back and forth game. So it was really fun. But I also think that I was somewhat able to show that despite how competent Galahad is, and despite how strong people are, this was far from one-sided game, and even far from being a clear favorite. I think this game in most cases was extremely close, Maybe even this round, even this seventh round, even with the Bjorn Eagles and all of that, maybe there was some way for me to play a little bit better. Maybe those goblins, yeah, if they didn't go here, maybe that was a mistake. It was enough maybe to protect Eastern Spore, and those goblins just go here. And then if Bjorn tries to attack, it is uphill, and then I can use Dense Fog, or maybe block little bit so he can't able to move out camp, and take it with an ordinary move, and then have those soldiers to protect, something like that. I think, yeah, I think there definitely were ways to maybe not win, but have better chance, or even like good odds at winning. So I really like this game. I hope you like it too. Let me know what you think. Let me hope if you also think that this game is as epic as I personally think it is. It is almost 2 hour content here. And if you liked it as much as I, then maybe we will do a little bit of more of those epic extended struggles. And if not, we can think of something else. And for now, I hope you liked it, and I hope you will have a good day.